Good evening, friends. How are you after a long break? There were some technical glitches, so we're not able to do it as per the scheduled time. Today also we are late. As per our scheduled time of 3:45, 3:45. Evening as per the Indian Standard Time, afternoon. But yes, we are back. Monday to Thursday, whatever we'll be doing the live shows, whatever the news. So the news headlines today largely are dominated with the peace talks between US and Iran across the world and the conflict zones. And the breaking news, which is making the news, is the results of the bypolls, and that's where Prashant Kishore was contesting. Equally, news on Prashant Bhushan, who has been the verdict is out and he has been termed innocent in this wrestler's sexual assault and sexual harassment case. So these are the news largely how markets have been impacted. The markets have remained positive. The curve was flat, but later on the market just spiked. The Nifty just went up because the news of actually the peace talks between US and Iran and how it's going to impact the economy, because the dollar is likely to be, the rupee is likely to go strong. Equally, there is a RBI policy which is coming out. So the day before RBI policy, the markets have a kind of upward swing today. The barrel would play somewhere in a range of $80-85 per barrel, the oil prices basically. So these factors put together have some triggered a positive punch in the market. And apart from that, there are news from the entertainment space world. The exodus of people in Spain and Italy and the way the things are happening. So yes, let's start. Let's start with the market slides first. Here we go. And as we travel on that front, this is the India market story today. So what does the India market story say today largely? The India market story says how the Sensex closed the Nifty closed at 24,774.40. Closing of 1530 is already displayed over here. Equally, the Sensex was at 78,639.30. That also remained plus. It remained plus almost 0.7%. And Nifty spun last moment and went to 1.6% up. So it's a kind of bullish breakout. Mainly the key drivers have been the plunging crude and tech rally basically, and the key resistance is seen at 24.79. Equally, in the Sensex Nifty, it's mainly the broad-based gains and basically the DI inflows and macro optimism. Key resistance here at 78,700, so that's 639 is already touched. Outlook for tomorrow, basically, that's Tuesday, is largely going to be the RBI policy watch. Market likely to trade cautiously in sensitive sectors, banking, auto ahead of market monitoring policy. The RBI policy. And outcome expected on Wednesday. Equally, technical milestone, if you see, the crucial sustain of Nifty 50 is about 200 DMA for medium-term recovery. And on the other end, if you see, monitoring global cues, continue to focus on crude oil price stabilization and any further developments in US-Iran diplomatic front. So these factors have largely kind of endorsed the market rally today. That's what we can call in nutshell. Let's take a look at the global indices. The major global indices are equally advocating the same phenomena. If you see the American pack, it's on a positive front, barring the CBOE volatility VIX and S&P TSX, that's the Tornado Stock Exchange, that's Canada. The background behind me has changed today. Let me just tell you, I'm at Dwarka. I have this 4 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm going to be live. I'm going to be doing live from the Dwarka. So, Dwarka is in Gujarat, Dwarka, not the Delhi Dwarka. So I'm in Gujarat, in Dwarka, in Gujarat. The religious pilgrim place of the Hindus, mainly Dwarkadish temple and surrounding areas. The weather over here is beautiful, no doubt about that. A little bit hazy, cloudy, not much of sunlight, and it's a worth enjoying monsoon weather and the sea coast, the waving sea coast. So yeah, I'm enjoying the climate over here while doing my work. Europe, largely, if you see, it has been a mixed cues, kind of negative, positive punches together, and most of them have been positive, barring the UK 100. And equally, if you see on the Asian front, Asia Pacific, Japan, KOSPI, SSE Composite and Shenzhen Composite, or probably they have been negative. Australian exchanges have been on positive front. Indonesia has been negative, and equally IDX 30 has also been a little positive. Nifty and Sensex, as I said, they have been positive. So this is the world scenario as the markets closed in India at 3:30 today. And taking ahead, let's cruise ahead. So largely the market has kind of embraced the positive talks of between in the ongoing West Asia war, and how the West Asia war is now likely to calm down. That's the sentiment which is building around. The oil prices are cooling off. So that is a sentiment the world markets have also equally embraced. Let's take a look at what's happening in the breaking zones. I mean, the breaking news, the conflict zones, and other developments. So here we go. The news from the conflict zone and breaking news desk is largely Trump says Gulf leaders input weighed heavy decision to hold off on ordering the new Iran strike. So it's the the Cooperative Council, the pack of the Gulf nations, basically the Saudi Arabia, Qatar, all these countries. Equally, West Asia Live, Trump says Iran talks to take place today, sets no deadline for the deal. That has been reported 3 hours before we started seeing the news today at 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. Negotiations with Iran expected to take place through intermediaries today. That's what the US president has said. And US tells citizens in West Asia to be ready to leave. So, I mean, this is probably a vast set of negotiation what Trump indicates. And the 1.15 trillion, the budget for the war, what he has got it sanctioned from the Senate. So that clearly indicates, that either it's going to be a do or die situation. And US tells citizens in West Asia to be ready to leave amid the escalation fears. What's happening in the Middle East, that's the buzzword for everybody. This has been before 2 days, but now it's easing up. That's what the news comes. Trump keeps announcing pauses in Iran strikes, but the attacks keep continuing. I mean, so despite the fact that there has been a kind of approach to kind of extinguish this one, and where Iran sometimes agrees, sometimes does not agree, US sometimes agree, US sometimes does stability in my connection, so you'll have to bear with me till that. It gets stabilized and respects sovereignty of Iran says to close to, Iran says it's close to deal with Oman. So, it says respect sovereignty of both Iran and US. That's what Iran has said. So these are largely the news from the Middle East. Of the tension is going to ease. That's the mood on the breaking news and conflict zones desk. Taking ahead, the news desk mainly from the world and India. What does it indicate? So the Saturn trains not running this first week of August. FAO withdraws support for Gianni Infantino as FIFA president, and equally the Scottish wind farms. They are paying 1 billion to foreign shareholders. In Greece, as Europe tackles wildfires, equally, if you see the Europe is tackling wildfires, even the exodus on its borders, and amber heat alert issued at the hot spells continues. So the heat wave and hot spells continue. Japan and US confirm a rare joint intervention to prop up yen. So they are looking to kind of stabilize the Japanese currency. That's the yen. And PM visit Kent and wants to be relentless in tackling small boats crossing. So this is largely, the news from the UK and US. India's monsoon is getting weirder. That's the news which is being read most in the world. So the news from monsoon from India is equally making headlines across the world. And revolt of the cockroaches. How just Gen Z has, kind of humbled the leadership. That's opinion analysis piece which has been written before 2 days and it has gone viral. It is making rounds. So this is largely from the world and India. Let's take a look at other developments equally. And while we take a look at the news desk from across the world, so this is how the world is shaping up. In North America, it's wildfires prompt mass evacuation in Spokane country. Jordan Salinas hero bystander confronts the Idaho shooter. That's the news. And dollar 100,000 off fee plan. Bad news for the international students. So this is something which will kind of put a pressure on the students who wish to study in US. Latin America and Caribbean plane crashes near Nazca lines in Peru, killing 13. So that's mainly from the Latin America and Caribbean. Grid failure plunges Cuba into the nationwide blackout. So there has been a problem over there. The grid kind of the power cascading in Cuba that has put Cuba into the blackout. Several social media platforms and a lot of buzzes there on that. Infantino's World Cup sell-off plan. So the firefighting activity is on in the west of Athens in Greece. Trump announces upcoming negotiations with Iran. That's what he has said. And Iran, the Hormuz deal with Oman. That's the news coming from the Middle East and West Asia largely. Saudi Arabia urging Trump to step back from Iran war, and he have killed 7 across Gaza. Earthquakes are reported in north of Egypt, near Suez. So these are the news largely from the Middle East and Eurasia. Ukraine's drone attack hits Wildberries warehouse in Vladimir region. That's again the news coming from the Eurasia and basically the conflict between Russia. And female bomber kills at least three near Moscow restaurant. And Russia attacks Ukraine overnight, killing the flight. And Russia pounds Kiev with missiles. So the war is equally the Russian and Ukrainian war zone is also that active like the West Asia. So if West Asia eases, there is something happening in Russia and Moscow. In Asia, if you see the protests in Pakistan administered Kashmir region, and that is becoming the news. Kashmir, terrorists are trapping Pakistan's personnel. This is the news. Nirmal Purja dies in Lancha. An Indonesian ferry catches fire, leaving at least 5 dead. So these are the news headlines which are largely reported from the world, and you can see how it is scattered. What's coming from the North America, Latin America, Caribbean, Europe, Middle East, Eurasia, and Asia, and South Pacific, of course. So these are largely the news from that terrain. Not much of the things are happening in Africa. So these are the news. Let's take a scale ahead. Let's understand as to what's happening in the business and the news. The business news desk. So business, job, economy, sectors, and markets. Zepto pauses IPO plan amid lower valuation expectations. This is from the business place. KKR back, Leap India schedules August IPO. Z Entertainment shares fall because SEBI has issued a notice and order on some issues with Z's leadership. And Haldiram's temporarily closes the London restaurant after everything had gone viral, like what was the cost of Pani Puri and all that. So these are the news. And equally on the jobs and 5-year low. And foreign capital inflows in India to surpass $40 billion since June. Sridhar Vembu raises concern. Sridhar Vembu is the founder of Zoho, and he raises concern over AI impact on employment amid factory slowdown. There's a good piece also, about this, which reads that how basically one of the copywriters who was earning 2 lakh per month has started earning now 40,000 a month because of AI. So AI is taking away the job about that thing has already happened. That's already happening. Let's take on some other news also. I'll read some other news from, of course, other international developments as well. In sectors, Maruti, Suzuki, they lead the July sales. Tech, if you see Apple iPhone shipments in India drop actually, and IT, HCL Tech faces a $50 million revenue impact from Google deal. And energy, if you see India approves Samudra Manthan offshore energy scheme, that's more for extraction of the oil from the exploration, the national exploration licensing policy, what was called NIL. Now that's going to be called Samudra Manthan. And oil, OPEC Plus agrees in September production increase. So OPEC has now agreed for the increase of oil output. But the core issue still is the shipping bottlenecks at quite the Strait of Hormuz and how that would happen. Sensex jumps over 600 points. We already talked about that. US and Japan confirm joint yen currency intervention, and cold card wallet bug leads to Bitcoin losses. So this is also there. Gold demand has gone a little cold. It slows in Q2 due to high prices. And in other news headlines, mainly from the business and jobs and economy sectors and markets, just let me go through those headlines. Alibaba Group holding unveils Qwen 3.8 Max AI model and has added to China's AI breakthrough. This launch is the largest AI model while offering the open source models to lower cost developers. Equally, Z, as I said, the Z shares have fell because Subhash Chandra and Puneet Dekar have received from the securities market over a land pledge case. They've received a notice. SEBI has barred the promoters, Subhash Chandra and Puneet Dekar, from the securities market over a land pledge thing. Manipal Thailand Enterprise IPO details, share allotment status. It's there on the BSE and NSE. Juniper Green Energy IPO subscription closes on August 3. The 1800 crore IPO got fully subscribed on its final day of bidding. Urban company shares have jumped to 18% after the Q1 earning report. The stock rallied despite a net loss driven by 45%. Revenue growth in Q1 upgraded by Morgan Stanley. And Flipkart plans now a Bangalore food delivery launch in August. Flipkart is gearing up to launch its food delivery services around August 15, targeting up to sharp route on the SpaceX share valuation. And Trump Media rolls out high-speed Truth API data services. Trump Media launched a $1 lakh paid service providing clients with faster access to Truth Social. And Sun Pharma recalls eye drops in India after contamination scare. Sun Pharma initiated the recall of certain eye drops in Indian markets following contamination concerns. India manufacturing, we already talked foreign capital, Indian coal production increases 7.5% in July. So coal production has surged to 50.36 billion tons alongside record high July dispatches. And portfolio ended a 4 month selling streak of 20.20. 202 billion rupees. That's 20,200 crore inflow in July. And India bars sale of certain liquor brands over flavoring. FSI has ordered a ban on the sale of Select, Diageo, and improved liquor products due to artificial flavoring violations. And Snapit crosses 1,15,000 daily jobs, says burn per job drops below rupees 250 in Q1 25. Snapit has announced a surpassed almost 1,15,000 daily jobs as unit economics improved, while House Help app orders almost 1 lakh amid lower pricing. And copywriter in AI career downfall, and the young copywriter shared a viral account of earning dropping from 2 lakh to 40,000 due to AI disruption, reflecting wider career anxieties in the sector. And equally, if you see the young professional program at Reliance Life Science freshers eligible, Reliance Life Science announced openings of young professionals programs targeting the fresh graduates. Sectors, if you see, we have already taken about US and Japan. US Iran oil talks, oil prices of plunged 5%. RBI reported MPC meetings, 3 days MPC meetings, analysts widely expecting the central bank to hold the rate steady despite the inflation and monsoon concerns. And Indigo has suspended its London Heathrow flights amid widely exit. Indigo paused its Heathrow services and returned its lease Boeing 787, signaling a shift away from wide body operations. And Indian IT revenue. Industry experts noted that while AI may put pressure IT margins currently, it serves a long-term growth engine forcing business model reinventions. And equally, if you see, we talked about the Apple iPhone shipments and HCL Tech. OpenAI announces Astra AI model after solving 10 math problems. We have talked about the OPEC agreeing to to increase the supply September oil production. Reports link coal card that also we have already talked about. Bloomberg delays inclusion of Indian bonds in global index. Market analysts viewed Bloomberg's delay on India G-Sec inclusion as a temporary operational pause. And Honda car sales July 26. Domestic sales have jumped to 48%. Honda Cars India reported a strong surge in July 2026 performance, with domestic sales jumping significantly. Markets, we have already talked about it. So, yeah, largely these are the news which are coming from the market space and other developments as well. Let's take a call on uh, other areas like politics, law and order, what's happening in that front. So the news coming from the politics, law and order is largely the parliament monsoon session for 2026. It was both houses were adjourned till 2 p.m. Uh, Bankipur, Manjalpur in Baroda, Datia, Baipol elections, live updates. Prashant Kishore was leading ahead with the leads when we were talking about it. And stop hounding us. That is a mother of 15-year-old who abused PM, says she has been driven out of the home. Now please leave us alone. That's what she's telling. And Sheikh Hasina has chosen August 5 for her first public appearance in 2 years. Why is that? That piece is being read the most. Karnataka cabinet expansion, Congress top clears name of 18 ministers, swearing in likely today. That's what it is. And US visa bonds explain. Will Indians have to pay up to $20,000 for tourist visas? That's another thing which is coming up. Brij Bhushan Charan saying acquittal. He has been acquitted by the court. Vinesh Fogart, female wrestlers to appeal the decision. They're going to challenge the decision, and wrestlers will tell about their pain. I am happy that is a statement of BJP's Brij Bhushan to NDTV. And Delhi court acquits Brij Bhushan, Vinod Tomar in woman wrestler sexual harassment case. So, the wrestlers had gone. They had basically. I'm just sipping a mix of my tea and coffee. So they had gone. They had protested. Everybody had joined the protest, and this is what has happened. So the scenario is little gloomy. Where people are really kind of disappointed with the way situation is happening today in this country. Protests are happening, everything is happening, but people have to literally beg for justice. So, the scenario is really, that's what I even hear from locally from the people wherever I go. They have kind of realized that probably they know they have to fight a lot, they have to struggle a lot, and they may not be. So kind of a society is becoming a very scary area now, no doubt about it. Let's take this ahead. Let's take this forward. The news from the entertainment desk sports. What's happening largely in that area? If the new Spider-Man film was film sees second the biggest ever global opening weekend. Jennifer Winget shares an unseen haldi ceremony moments, calls herself luckiest. Glasgow bids farewell to the Commonwealth Games with handover to Ahmedabad. That's Gujarat. The Gujarat leadership is in Glasgow. They are taking over the torch and other things which will take the Commonwealth Games now to Gujarat in Ahmedabad. Jananayagan box office collections day 11. Remember my previous telecast, I had said the film will already, will cross 100 crores, it may touch 200, 300 crores, and Thalpathy Vijay records 37.2% jump, nears a 300 crore worldwide collection. So this is what I had already forecast. Akib Nabi replaces injured Jasprit Bumrah for Test series in Sri Lanka, and India's best numbers at Commonwealth Games in 2026. So these are the news which I read last week, that in the sports domain. Let's take a close look on what's happening in health, tech, science, and miscellaneous development. So there are news largely from the gadget world. So world's largest digital camera shows vast cosmic landscape with 5 lakh galaxies. And Spain to see first total solar eclipse in more than a century. I'll not talk about the phones, that you can read. And scientists detect a sharp acceleration in global warming. That's a study which is there out and people are reading that. Equally, the screen time linked to the poorer skin and body image. That's what the researchers have found out. So yeah, that's the news. And Chabi Mittal says she considered treating cancer without medicine. So these are the news largely from the health, science, and tech and miscellaneous, whatever you call it, or the general news. Let's take a call on what's happening in the Gujarat, in the state of Gujarat. So what are the news largely in state of Gujarat? What are the headlines which are being dominated? It's largely flooded with the news from the Gujarat by-election, the flood crisis and weather, education, admissions, crime and justice, developments and investments, and health, culture, and miscellaneous news which are coming out. So if you see state by polls, mainly BJP maintains the edge in Gujarat, Prashant Kishore leads in Bihar, Manjalpur Assembly by poll counting underway, setback for BJP, Devgat Baria by polls. Gujarat reels under flood, 4 dead, 16,500 shifted, red alerts in 5 districts, intense rains forecast, hundreds evacuated in Navsari and Vadodara, Gujarat, and central Gujarat. Dam gates in Rajkot and Morbi have been opened at Saurashtra, Kutch. In education admissions, Gujarat government announces key education decisions. Preschool certificate not mandatory for first standard class, basically. Nursing admission applications window has been extended. Gujarat University to digital PhD evaluation. Gujarat High Court intervenes in key cases. High Court pushes for the mystery over Surat demolition now. There was a demolition in Surat, and who ordered that demolition was a big question. So now that has gone in the court of Gujarat High Court, and they've ordered, they push for that mystery of the Surat demolition. Railway officers' wife under CBI scanner in exam scam, and Supreme Court orders for SIT to probe custodial deaths. So these are the news largely from Gujarat. Investment friendliness, growth. If you see Gujarat tops Niti Aayog's investment friendliness index. These are the headlines. 1,500 crore relief strengthens the cooperative sugar sector, and Avada gets 12,000 crore loan for the projects. If you see the health, culture, and miscellaneous various initiatives in events in Gujarat, World Lung Cancer Day, Shravanotsav, that's a real competition begins in that. So reels, that's become an economy. Freelance spotted crossing Mount Gitnar staircase, and Gujarat celebrates 61 years of Gandhinagar. That's the state capital. So these are the news largely from Gujarat. The last slide I would like to take, and that's the last slide, is basically largely the safety advisory. Yourself from lightning. Met Malaysia debunks dangerous thunderstorm myths, advises people not to go in the open fields. UK heat, that's a public health alert which says that UK heat-related deaths may nearly. Extreme weather response, Romanian soldiers use controlled explosions to redirect Danube River towards drought-hit nuclear plant. Tornado warnings have been issued in parts of Niagara region, Canada and US, the region combining that area. Typhoon Dolphin may drench northern Taiwan later this week. That's the kind of warning which is coming from peripheries. Deadly floods and landslides hit India's Kerala, flooding landslide, of course, and drought and famine. The fruit faces famine threat as drought and soaring food prices. The crisis. So it's drought and famine largely because of the soaring food prices, which are deepening the crisis. And landslide papers, Bangalore rail link trains cancelled and diverted, and so these are the news largely of the day from across the world, weather, everything. I'll stop sharing the over here, and that's the news today. So do keep watching us. Do keep on sharing your views through comments, your constructive, creative criticism, whatever it is. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for listening to us, and have a great day. Stay safe, stay alert. Monsoons are still on, roads are yet waterlogged at times. So be safe and be alert while you go out with your two wheelers, three wheelers, four wheelers, whatever it is. Even if you're walking or going out anywhere, please do take very good care of yourself. And thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching us. Have a great day. Have a safe day. Have a good day.